Hey Aquarius, this reading is for Aquarius in love, December 15th through the end of the month. Aquarius in love, December 15th through the end of the month. Aquarius, I'm going to be doing my monthly giveaway, but what I've decided is to let the winner choose what they need. So you can decide whether or not you would like a free healing session or a free reading, okay? So if you'd like to be considered for this giveaway, make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment below your video, and I will notify winners at the very end of the month. Aquarius in love. Okay, Aquarius. I'm hearing that there's a breakthrough that somebody's praying for that they're going to get. A breakthrough in love. This could be a breakthrough in career as well. It's some sort of a breakthrough that you've been putting a lot of energy out into universe for. It feels like you're going to get this breakthrough over the next couple of weeks or pretty close to it, okay? But Spirit just wants to put out there to you, and it's not really a warning, it's just a little bit of clarity that sometimes to gain something new, you need to lose something first. So if you feel like someone or something steps out of the picture, or something like an opportunity just disappears right now, try not to get caught up in that. Try not to get too down about that. It's actually a part of your prayer coming to fruition. It's a part of your manifestation coming full circle. It's just that Spirit saying, hey, we need to make a little bit of space first, okay? So do recognize if you really do want something really badly and you're putting that out into universe, you may need to let go of something else at this time, okay? Let's get a little bit more clarity here. Aquarius in love, December 15th. Through the end of the month. Okay, interesting message. I'm hearing that somebody is mixing love and friendship. Somebody's mixing love and friendship, or someone may want to over the next couple of weeks. Don't be surprised, Aquarius, if a friend shows up asking you to give them a shot as a romantic partner, or they share some feelings. I'm actually seeing someone maybe at like a holiday party or holiday gathering, and they may have like a little too much to drink, and so some of this truth just kind of spills out. Don't be surprised, and honestly, I'm not hearing that it's really a bad idea. It's just something that you may want to sit with, okay? It's not something you're going to want to jump into because you don't want to risk a relationship if the love there and the attraction there isn't mutual. But for some of you, it feels very positive. But the first card out here is unrequited love. Okay, what I'm getting with this, I'm hearing that some of you broke up with somebody. They are now ex territory, but they may ask you if they can circle back and just be friends. That feels really, really, really good. So for those of you who ended on good terms, but maybe the love, the attraction was more one-sided, something kind of fizzled, hearts weren't all the way broken, that feels like somebody who may come back as a friend. So that may be that connection between love and friendship at this time. It feels good. It feels really good. But also recognize that if that is the case, you should maybe only pursue a friendship and not love, okay? I do think someone may show up who's an ex or a friend, and they make that offer to you. It may be an opportunity on the table, but I'm almost kind of feeling like Aquarius may not have those same kind of feelings, but a friendship would be amazing. Like there would be enough intimacy to have a relationship or to have a friendship with depth, but if you step into a romantic partnership, you may not have the chemistry you need to keep that flame going long term, okay? Center of the reading, this could be the one. I see you moving away, though, from people who you don't have chemistry with so that you can call in somebody bigger. And again, that's that message of, okay, you want the one. You want the person who's going to be in your life forever and ever, and this high-level soulmate and this incredible connection, but you may still be holding on to somebody. They may be friend-zoned now, but there may be somebody in the picture who you don't have that chemistry with, and they're the reason you know to ask universe for that now. They have to go. I just feel like someone or something needs to be removed from the picture for you to call something bigger and better in. And that's what this feels like for many of you, especially if you're single. I do feel like for some of you, you may already have a really beautiful partner in the mix, but you don't have enough time for them. Something may have to go. You may have to prioritize this person you love dearly over a job, over an opportunity. You may not want to travel as much because this person's actually worth making that sacrifice for, or they may need to travel with you, okay? So I do think for some of you, you may wind up spending more time with a significant other, sacrificing some of that freedom that you know that you genuinely love, okay? But something here feels worthwhile. It feels like if you lose something or have to let go of someone or something, it's not going to have you down for too long. It's actually as long as you're aware that it's a part of the process of something coming full circle, I think you guys will do fine with it. Love yourself first, okay? It's all about self-love at this time. Why would you let go of someone who you don't have chemistry with anymore? Someone that maybe you love like a friend, somebody who feels like a best friend, but in love, they're just not checking off those boxes for you anymore. Why would you let go of somebody like that when they're safe? Why would you let go of somebody like that when you do love them, even if you're not in love with them? Why would you? Because you know that you deserve more than to settle for something that isn't fulfilling, okay? So self-love is so important. I mean, self-love is always important. But right now, allow self-love to guide you. Allow self-love to provide you the opportunity to let some people go and some situations go. You're going to recognize, as long as you are coming from that place of self-love, something's taking up space here that doesn't deserve your space anymore. And it doesn't mean that person or that opportunity or that job is bad. It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong other than that just doesn't fit in your life anymore. It's not fulfilling enough for you anymore, okay? Yeah. You're going to have to trust it. You know who this is. This could also be a friend who's being aggressive, who's trying to get you to date them, and you're like, I want this one. I want, that person that I'm madly in love with back. Okay? This person's showing up. Clarified by trust. Trust this process. Trust your intuition. Your intuition is going to tell you everything. It always does, but you may need to quiet your minds a little bit to really honor what Spirit's telling you, to really honor what it is you're picking up about somebody. This does not feel like a bad person. This feels like a really great person who is not a good match for you in love, okay? But they may be a good match for you in a friendship, and that's where I get some exes maybe stepping back into the picture, you and them both recognizing, like, we make really good friends. We're both trustworthy. We have each other's back. Our conversations are amazing. We just don't have that, like, intense passion, that love, that physical chemistry. So let's see if we can regroup. Let's see if we can rebuild a little bit with a different kind of a relationship. I see a really, really, really good outcome for those of you who are open to that. I don't think it's going to be the ex that broke your heart coming back and then you have some, incredible relationship, but it feels like something that may not have been superficial either, but it just wasn't, a couple year-long relationship. And I think for some of you it could be, as long as you've had enough time to really heal from it. I think that relationship and that friendship is actually possible, even though for most people that's actually impossible to do. I see Aquarius being able to handle that really well. Okay, and actually there's a lot of peace there. Since every reading we have this could be the one, but there are some red flags. What are the red flags? Could it be that you want somebody to be the one, but there are red flags showing you that maybe you're not quite as compatible with this person as you would like to be? I think many of you actually have really great partners and really special people who have shown up. But I do think for some of you, there's a lack of chemistry. There's a lack of physical chemistry, especially if you are an Aquarius who tends to really indulge in the physical aspect of a relationship. Like, that is super, super important to you. I feel like some of you may be struggling with this, because you may be intellectually compatible, you may be spiritually compatible, but physically something's a little bit off. Hear that voice. Recognize that there are some issues that can be worked out, okay? I do think for some of you, it may just come down to teaching your partner what it is that you need to be fulfilled physically in a relationship. But I think for others of you, like, the chemistry is just not there. And so is that too much for you to lose out on, I think for some of you, you may be missing red flags and you're looking at somebody like, okay, this is the one. I want this to work. On paper, this looks really good. We have a really good friendship, but there's still something off there. Be honest with yourself. For others of you, you have that chemistry there, okay? You've been with somebody for a long time and it's a solid relationship. Something's going on with, like, family. Something's going on. As somebody close to you, there's red flags with. Well, I get a little bit of jealousy, but I get, like, somebody trying to meddle with a relationship. Trying to, like, weasel their way into something. A family member who maybe doesn't like your spouse, and so they're always talking bad and they're trying to get into your head about that. A jealous sibling. This could be a close friend, but it would be, like, a friend that's really close to you, like a family member. There's something off here. Someone's not showing you their true colors. I do think that you have some people around you that are jealous that you're in a good relationship. I think that you have some friends. They're like, oh, I'm so, proud of you for doing all this hard work and making it work with your partner. And, oh, I'm so happy for you guys. But it's not really how they feel. that is energy that you really need to let go of at this time, okay? So if the red flags don't necessarily pertain to your significant other, acknowledge other people's energy in relation to your relationship, because it feels like someone's trying to meddle. You may have friends giving you some bad advice just because they're jealous that you have somebody good in the picture. Don't let anybody, interfere with the good thing here, all right? Some of these red flags aren't warranted, I will say. Some of these red flags are not warranted. You had a tough conversation or a tough day with a significant other. You vented to a friend, and now all your friend can tell you is that you should get out of the relationship. It seems like for some of you, that's just not the way to go, and that person's not coming from a totally pure place, okay? So I'm not saying that's all friends and all family, but for some of you, it really does come through pretty strong. And that's where you're going to exercise self-love. That's where you're going to have to trust in your intuition, so that you ultimately know what is of the highest good to do in a relationship. Yeah, love yourself first is clarified by it is safe for you to love. Okay? First of all, you trust your intuition. You're guided towards safe love. I do think some of you may be settling for safe love, though. Super safe, beautiful human being. If you don't have that physical chemistry there anymore, I don't know how much longer that's going to last. So that is something you're going to want to really sit with. But I do think for some of you, you can work on it. I think there could just be like a little bit of, I don't want to say a miscommunication, but like a lack of communication. Somebody thinks that you're satisfied and you're not. I know it's a little like too much probably for some of you to talk about in a reading, but it's just coming up. And I do see a partner who'd be totally willing to one, hear you out and to try to work on that with you. And it may not be just physical chemistry that's off. I really think for some of you, you just don't have time for it. You don't have time for it, the kind of intimacy that you or the partner's craving. And you need to be communicating about that, okay? Let's get you guys a crowning card here. Crowning card for Aquarius in love. Yeah, someone doesn't want to have that conversation. Someone feels awkward having that conversation. And maybe you're a little ways into a relationship, and that's a conversation you should have had a couple of months ago, and now it's a little awkward to bring it up. It's all good. You have a partner who's going to listen to you, and if you really do have chemistry, and if it really is safe love, your partner's going to want to know how you're feeling. Yeah, crowning your reading is children. We're going to talk about inner child here. And more self-love at the bottom of the deck, okay? So we have crowning, bottom of the deck, we have self-love. This is speaking about inner child. I think for some of you, if you're stuck in a relationship without chemistry right now, it feels like there's a message that came through when you were a child that it was okay to settle or something like that. Something goes back to childhood here, watching parents settle, watching people around you settle for love that maybe wasn't totally fulfilling, but it wasn't bad love. So why would you get out of something that is safe, that is reliable, someone who's maybe very much in love with you? That feels like a conversation, something you heard or something you saw, something you experienced when you were a kid. And so it's showing up for you now. That's what we call a karmic pattern, okay? The karmic lesson in this is that from a place of self-love, you don't have to settle. From a place of self-love, you can honor how amazing somebody is, how very important they are, and how important they were in your life, and still choose a different journey and a different experience so that you can be fulfilled. I do feel like that's coming up pretty hardcore for you guys over the next couple of weeks. Don't be surprised if you're having these kinds of thoughts and these kinds of feelings. But I will tell you this, something does get resolved. We have this, okay? We have self-love at the bottom of the deck. But we also have communication. Some issues showing up in relationships, even if it's physical chemistry or what's seeming to be a lack of physical chemistry, it will be healed if you talk about it. Something can be resolved in the mix, okay? If this person is truly of the highest good to be in your life, you can and you will fix it, but you have to be willing to communicate. Feels like somebody doesn't want to communicate about problems. And you know what? If that's the case, this may fizzle out completely. So now is the time to communicate. It's not about dramatic communication. You can keep it lighthearted, like really plan it out and practice it if you're about to have a conversation that's like, a little sensitive because you don't want to hurt a partner's feelings or something like that. But you can do this with love, okay, and get a really good result here, because ultimately, this is where you want to get to. You want to make sure that you're in the right relationship, okay? I do feel like for some of you who are single, that's what you're aiming for, but you might be attracting people who you're not really compatible with. Don't settle for this. Do not settle for this. Again, recognize if you continue to attract people who are not compatible for whatever reason, there's probably a karmic pattern in that, okay? So can you regroup at this time? Trust in your process, get back to self-love, really affirm to universe what it is that you want and what you need and what you're deserving of. Because again, at the bottom of the deck is you deserve love. You are deserving of love that is fulfilling, that is safe. You have an amazing friendship, but also someone you have physical, mental, emotional, spiritual compatibility with. Okay? So if you're single, this may be something that you're working on over the next couple of weeks so that you can start to call in people that you are more compatible with, that are higher vibing. But I will say people around you still feel like good people. I'm not really getting low vibing partners showing up for Aquarius. I don't think you guys are really calling in low vibing people anymore in situations. I mean, universe is always going to throw a test at us just to make sure, you know, we're secure in our healthy boundaries and we've learned lessons. But it feels like you're surrounded by pretty good people, other than maybe some jealousy. Okay, that's really the only warning that I'm getting with people that you're surrounding yourself with. But in terms of love, there's some great people here. If you're not compatible, do yourself a favor and do them the favor and step out of it, because it's not really fair for either person in the mix. But I do feel like for so many of you, there's something that can be resolved here. You just have to talk about it. All right, Aquarius, if you feel like you need more clarity, reach out to me. I'm available for private readings, for energy healing work, which you know that I specialize in. I will be back at the top of the year, which is so crazy that we're ending, you know, 2019 already. It flew by. But I will be back. I will most likely be able to get back to your general readings in addition to love, okay, by the 1st. You guys know that I've had quite a lot going on, so I'm going to try, but it seems realistic at this point. So we will take a look at the beginning of the year. See what's in store then. But in the meantime, I'm sending you so much love, light, and gratitude. Happy holidays, Aquarius. I love you all so much. Thank you for making this such a beautiful, blessed year for me. And I've just loved connecting with you all. I'll see you guys in 2020. Love you. Ciao.